Afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone is well. Welcome back to FFTV with me, Francis Green. Well, people. Well, I knew it. I just knew it. That's why I think something told me, my intuition, go away from the screen, away from football on the Saturday. But I couldn't stay away for too long, people. But the main thing is, I hope everyone is okay. Everyone has managed to get their head around it. Chris Ashton, in the chat, absolutely love it, everyone. I know that there's the Wolves and Man United games on at the minute, but I don't have much interest in that one at the minute, especially because no, Ronaldo's involved. So yeah, not really on that one at the minute. So we're just going to speak a little bit about Arsenal. Timing wise, we had a Vets game, etc. So I had to change it from 4 until 5:30. But the main thing is, I hope everyone is doing well, which is the main thing. I hope that they didn't ruin your weekend, and you are managing to spend some good time with yourself or your family, etc. So I hope everyone is doing well. That's the main thing. Gooner's coming as well. Big up, Franny. And Sheets of Metal. Hey, Fran. Hope everything is all well. Sheets of Metal. I think it's the first time that I've seen your name in here. So welcome to a magnificent community. And like you say, I know that the Man United game is on at the moment. So some people may be having that. But I just imagine there was Arsenal channel after channel after channel absolutely going mad about the result. And not only the result, the manner in that the result came about. Let's be honest, the absolute manner of what it was. So I decided to not really go on it. I did go on Curtis's chat. When I got in, he messaged me, said, Fran, come on. So I went on Curtis Shaw's TV a little bit briefly at the end of his stream yesterday. And to be honest, it's the first time in a long time that I've felt really down in relation to football, not in life. As you know, I separate the two. I think that's very important. I'm speaking of that as well. You beautiful people keep going about the other channel. So I managed to start another channel. Some of you have already subscribed, which is great. And it's just a chilled kind of my conversations with you, conversations with you. Because I get a lot of people in life, to be honest. I've had a lot of people in the community ask questions about just everyday things. And that's probably my second passion, is talking about how to get better, because it helps me get better. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but it helps me get better. So I think that channel is good. The link is this one here. So click on that link. It takes you to the little channel that I've just started. And I put a little chilled video up last night. It was 1 a.m. when I did the video last night. So believe me if I'm a little bit too chilled on the first video, but it's just telling you what we're about and what I'm about and what the reason why I've done that little channel is for the community. So click that link. That's the one. So let's go through a few of the chats before we get deep dive in. The corruption of foreign business money is where it began. Simply moving to another foreign owner for business reasons will not solve the problem. A basic requirement of owners should love the club. And it's very hard to, obviously, how do you narrow that down? How do you get the specific, the owner? Because they could just say that, how maybe they could go through history of things like that, but I'm just not sure how that would work, Chris, to be honest. But I get your point. I really do. People, if they don't have love for something, as me and you, we're not going to put our all into it if it's just business related. If you know what I mean. Ashton's put, these owners lack ambition for the business to grow and evolve, not love. Abramovich doesn't love football, let alone Chelsea, but he has the ambition to make things happen. I mean, I think Abramovich probably does love Chelsea, to be honest. The way that he's gone about his business, etc. I think Abramovich probably does love Chelsea. I could be wrong, but you would think the way he goes about business that he does love Chelsea. But we won't know. But Ashton's also saying, I'm saying this now. Xhaka wishes he was a good as Coquelin. At least he could tackle and read more. Yeah. Francis Coquelin was a lot better than Xhaka, in my opinion. Ashton's put also, I can't believe Arteta begged Xhaka to stay, but only that gives him a new deal. I mean, we'll talk about that. Chelsea is just a rich man's hobby. You have someone at the helm of the club that cares of the future. A businessman can simply walk away when bored, leaving the club in debt. Very true. Big up to yourself. Big up everyone. Sheets of Metal. Loads of people love it. Come in the chat. Love from Maryland, USA. Yeah, I love the States. And yeah, hopefully we'll try and get a late night little soccer show going over for all the overseas. I think that's probably important. You know, we have to cater for everyone. Tony's put hi everyone. GB's put respect, Fran, respect to yourself. Sheets of Fran, I went to sleep while Arsenal was 2-0. Woke up, it was 5-0. Oh, it was unbelievable. If the supporters simply accept that their beloved clubs are nothing more than someone else's business or current whim, then they are, what are we supporting? I love my tribe for what it is, and it is in my mind. And I get that. Fully get that. Shrivix put, really wish our talismanic creative spark Mutigal was playing against City. We seem to miss him, leadership and creativity. The rest of them were disgraceful. Thing is with Odegaard, like you say, he's not really a leader. Even though he's captain for Norway, I wouldn't see him as a leader. He needs to be in a good team and good players around him, that's for sure. We'll watch the Green Man video later. I hope it will grow like this channel. Yeah, listen, it's going to be a different channel. The Green Mind video will just be more well-being, more how I kind of do things, books that I read, everyday things, things that I tell my children, even though they don't listen. Just everyday things, because I think people are interested in how other people live. Or how they develop and want to get better, because yeah, you know, I'm nowhere near where I need to be, but I've improved loads over 5 years. So hopefully that channel will make me accountable to create content for everyone else who throw comments in. I know a few people have already commented. They liked, you know, the chilled vibe, kind of like the me and you kind of you know, interaction, because that's what it's going to be. You know, it's going to be me and you, just like this is, but it won't be live streams. It'll probably edited videos, and every so often, you know, we'll grow. So I think we've got like 30 subscribers already. So if we could get that to 100 subscribers, great, that would be great. Evening, Fran, the OG Fran, big up to yourself, Asanda. I hope you well. Oh, the Gooners put big up, etc. Just subscribe to the other channel, brother. Also at church earlier today. Amen. I prayed for a new manager. I know, and who knows what he's doing. Well, listen, if anyone's going to answer the prayers, it's going to be the Almighty. So, big up Fran and gang. I'm done from Fran football. Drain me, bro. My fab team's just a shambles from Arsenal to Nottingham to Wimbledon. Wow, you've had some bad luck there. PSG watch along, maybe. I noticed a lot of people did quite a lot of watch-alongs today. I know Curtis is doing one with a Man United one at the moment. But I tried to detach my way from football this weekend. I don't know why. It wasn't a planned detachment. It was just, I felt like it on Friday morning, Saturday night, that I was just going to detach myself away from screens, trading, everything, you know. So I'm not sure. Maybe. But we'll be smashing it next week. We'll be smashing it. Neves, has he never scored, or is he running the game? Fran, when we left Derby, we left the soul and the heart of the Arsenal behind. It's leaving like man leaving OT, or Liverpool leaving Anfield. We should have never left. I get that. I get that. But you have to move with the times. That's the problem. These modern football clubs move with the times. Big up, Fran. I said on Curtis's channel, history is all we got. Sadly. Fran, I went this channel to grow. Remember me when you get the blue tick. Hey, listen, I remember everyone who's part of the community, that's for sure. So, right then, people. So, if you're not already subscribed, because we have a lot of people who nip in and not subscribe, make sure you do. And obviously, we've only got 2 or 3 left days before. Can you even see that? Before this bad boy is going to be on the way to someone. So I'm actually looking forward to doing that. I really am. So let's get down to business, people. As you can see, embarrassing Arsenal, and Arteta needs to go. I don't think it's no secret that Arteta needs to go. By the way, Franz R8, listen, Adama Traore, if he had a final product, he'd be 200 million. He'd be 200 million. People say they wouldn't have him. I would have him all day. He causes problem after problem. What's happening, social DRG? Hope you're well, mate. Hope you are well and having a good weekend with family, friends, or yourself, because having weekends with yourself is very, very good as well. So, Arteta, yesterday's results. Everyone's had enough time now to settle down. Everyone's had enough time to kind of dissect and digest actually how embarrassing it is to support Arsenal at the moment, and more importantly, how embarrassing it is for Arsenal players to be playing the way that they are. Now, just before the game, I went on a walk in nature, in streams, took my shoes off, all those kind of things. Took my son and my wife up hill. My wife is scared of heights, so can you imagine what that was like at the top of this massive hill in the Peak District? Well, hill, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It's not a mountain, is it? So, giant hill, horrible cliff kind of thing. So she was panicking. It took us about 20 minutes to get down from that. But bless her, it was a way of her dealing with her anxiety. So I think it was a positive. Not that I deliberately took her up there, but to make her feel like that. But you know what I mean? There's a positive in the end of it. And I got back in the car. I got back in the car maybe 1 o'clock, something like that. And no, about 1:45. And I got a message from Jermaine Stroke Sol Campbell, who you lot seen on the stream. And he messaged me saying, you know, I fancy Arsenal tonight. You know, they did all right against West Brom. He went, Aubameyang's wearing the remake of the original R9s, which we all got. You could only get them from Harrods in 2000. And he seems buzzing in the warm-up, blah-de-blah. And I didn't get this WhatsApp voice note until I got in the car. So I've listened to the voice note of my friend saying, you know, I fancy Arsenal today, blah-de-blah-de-blah. And then I've replied to him via a voice note just before I'm just about to leave and said, listen, there's no chance that Arsenal are going to do anything today. We'll be lucky if it's less than 3. That's what I said. And then I put the radio on and it was 2-0 after 12 minutes. And I just thought to myself, I just started laughing as I was driving. My wife was like, what are you laughing at? I'm not surprised what is actually going on. So then I left him a voice note and I was saying, I've just turned the radio on. You know, your theory is I won't be choosing you for a scout or a football coach. I can tell you that. Just read this one quick. Chris has put, if there's a watch along tonight, we'll miss it, I'm afraid. Next door tonight for the monthly Chinwagon drinkies. Hey, listen, you need that time away, Chris. Well done. Social DRG still waiting on the F1 to start. Massive rain delay. I did see that, like F1. It's going to be interesting with the rain. Oh, Sol, we remember him. We'll get Sol back on again. Sheets from Output, FFTD. Did you see Abba's post-match interview? I did. I feel so bad for him. Fran, the debate on Curtis is prime Henry or prime CR7. Wow. I think if you are not being biased, I don't think you can look beyond Ronaldo for that debate. Now, Henry's ridiculous, as we know, and he's my favorite Premier League players. But if you're not being biased and you really, really think about it, you've got to go for Ronaldo, for prime. You've got to. I mean, I would understand other people, but I think a lot of that would be probably bias if you was to go Henry. As good as Henry and special as he is, prime R9. It's like saying someone or prime Messi. Like they're the two best. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. So yeah, so the game. So I get in the car, it's 2-0. I couldn't believe it. I'm thinking, I said to the wife, this could be 5-0. This could be 5-6-0. If it's 3-4-0 before halftime, this is going to be 5-6-0. And I was listening to it on the radio. And it was just, again, men against boys. It sounded like Dean Ashton was absolutely like saying he cannot believe what is actually going on with Arsenal playing style at the time. And then the stupidest man in the football club gets a red card. This guy's supposed to be a leader. He's supposed to be a captain. We re-sign him on better money, giving him a deal when we was trying to get rid of him, right? And you bring him in and you make him the leader of this. Unfortunately, he's the leader. Unfortunately, which he shouldn't be. You play him. You trust him because he clearly trusts him. And he goes and does that in modern day football because he's frustrated. You can't give. I remember when someone gave me the captaincy. And I'm going to tell you, someone gave me the captaincy because I was a talker. I was a leader. I wanted to win. But the problem is I did not have the maturity or the self-aware know-how, which you have to work on how to be a correct leader. So if the ref made a wrong decision, I would be the one be in the ref's face. If someone was arguing, I'd be in someone's face arguing. You need your captain to be reserved and come away from the situation and take themselves out of it and look in and say, well, wait a minute, that shouldn't happen. This shouldn't happen. This is how you need to be. Now, sometimes I'm captain for vets or whatever, and I'll just do, I'll just relax and say, but even then I still sometimes, because of emotions, I get caught up in the emotions because I want to win so bad and I don't want the opposition to beat me at anything. sometimes I lose control and I get angry and I start abusing people or the ref, and then I quickly think, whoa, that's not the life that I want to lead. Whereas people like Xhaka just continue to do what they do and continue to cause problems. The most disgusting thing for me, though, was Arteta patted him on the back and consoled him, like to say, don't worry about it. I don't think you deserve to get sent off. Now, I've seen players who didn't deserve to get sent off, and the managers completely ignored them, because at the end of the day, you've just cost me a game. You have just made it very, very hard and let the other 11 down, and you're the captain. You've just let the other 10 players down on your team, which, if you're supposed to be a leader, I don't understand that. So we can't be captain no more in my eyes. And then Arteta, that shows me how weak and how much of a lack of a winning mentality Arteta has. Because if that's my man, my player, I'm completely ignoring him. And at full time, I'm going to say, you have just let down all of your teammates, the ones that you train with every single day, you have let down. I hope you go away and think about that on your own. That's what I would be saying to Granit Xhaka. So he's then all of a sudden made it completely different. The task that was already hard, he's then made it nigh impossible for us to get anything. And it was just absolutely soft. And we've been saying it for absolutely years, people. Chris has put, beginnings to see dastardly side of you, Fran, forcing the missus Fran up hills to test her height resistance. What next? Pencil mustache and trying her to railway track to get over a fear. We don't have a style. We have a clueless manager. Where do we go from here, Fran? Which manager would you take? You know what? Looking at the managers, who would we take? Who would we take? We don't know what kind of budget we've got. Any other club this morning, the headlines is the owners have put the manager under pressure. We've not heard a thing. We've not heard an absolute thing from anybody at this football club. It's unbelievable. You got the talkers and you got the porkers. Yeah, exactly. From Patrick and Tony Adams to Xhaka, where's the leadership in the team? The reason we don't have leadership is because Arteta does not want that type of character in the dressing room, because it affects his insecurities. He has an insecurity. So he wants to get rid of anyone who's influential. He wants to get rid of anyone with a personality because he's insecure on his own position and his own ability. That's what managers, that's what bosses, that's what so-called leaders do. They get rid of anyone who they think may compromise or may undermine them. It's an insecurity. Henri all day, superb footballer, Vavavoon philosophy, and prepared to play basketball with a ball out his country into the World Cup finals. If Wolves score, Arsenal will be the only team who doesn't score in the Prem. Well, when Spurs are top of the league, 3-1 nils, I believe, or not conceded a goal, and we're bottom, not scored a goal, it's embarrassing, people. But Fran, please be careful driving, listening to the Arsenal game. No, could have caused problems. Leave alone these players playing the Mikel, or as they don't play for each other or themselves. I just don't think they're good enough at the minute. Arsenal were absolute disgrace against Man City. They got totally destroyed by citizens of Manchester City, and it was absolutely embarrassing. CDH MTX has put, hi, it's clear Arsenal players need a mindset change or psychological advice on no winning mentality. No matter who the manager is, they should play for the badge. I think it's the first time I've seen you, unless you change your name, but appreciate the comment. Really do. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like, and welcome to obviously the FFT community, which is a great community and growing daily. And you got a great point. If you follow me and now my other little channel, you know I'm into psychology. I did psychology degree actually in sports development, but you know, psychology, mindset, all those kind of things are what makes athletes perform to the best that they can perform. And for some reason, they do have psychologists in football clubs, but it's never seen as a huge thing. And it needs to be, because to perform at the levels that you need to in this day and age, you do need coaches for that, or a mentor, or following whatever. And you can't give it the players to start in their spare time doing it. So you need to provide that service. Now, they don't have a winning mentality. And a lot of people don't have a winning mentality. I thought I had one. And then I started to study slightly, not in depth, what it takes to have a winning mentality. And it's a daily reoccurrence. But if the manager's not got one, they say they've got a winning mentality, but what they're doing with the squad, what they're doing on a day-to-day basis does not collaborate, the actions don't collaborate with what you're saying, then the people are going to pick up. Staff are going to pick up. Players are going to pick up. And I think that's the problem. They've picked up on Arteta's lack of winning mentality. Arteta's been in his job for 18 months. There is no style identity whatsoever. Also, Arteta has failed to get the best out of these players, 100%. Yesterday, Specsavers were twittering that they had a special deal for Arsenal fans for glasses that blocked out the game. Can you imagine? Lewis Gaiman has put, I believe the mindset runs from the top of the club as well. The owners like to have managers that they can control, 100%. They don't want to be. Look at the FA. Look at the FA. England managers. England managers are never, ever the ones that will tell you or be in your face. Never Brian Clough. Never Harry Redknapp. Never so many managers that would tell you how it is. They don't want that. It could challenge their belief. It could challenge their philosophy. It could challenge their history. So why do that? You've got Gareth Southgate, perfect England manager. Perfect England manager. Perfect. And like you say, the Stan Kroenkes may be wanting someone like that. Or it's just because they can't find a winner for the budget that they want to pay, which is probably the case. 46 in the chat, considering there's some watch-alongs on. Absolutely unbelievable, everybody, especially on a Sunday. And I hope you are having a great day. Great day. Gunnar just put a decent manager in now could save our season. These silent owners are an absolute disgrace. Fans have to make their voices heard. Clapping at 5-0 defeat at the end of the game isn't the right message. I found that really, really strange. I really did. If we sack Arteta, we simply squeeze the blackhead. The problems will resurface later. The poison is the owners and second in command. I get that. I do get that. It needs an overall. But what we do need, for me, Man United with the Glaziers were sort of blah, this owner, that owner. They decided to put their money in their pocket and back Ollie and go and get the right players, okay? That's now got a lot of Man United fans eating humble pie. Whether they like the Glazers or not, they cannot deny that they have produced now with money coming out and they're trying to keep up with Man City. They can't deny that. The Kroenkes have to put their hand in the pocket for this to happen, because if this doesn't happen, like I said, we are going backwards at a serious pace. Serious pace. And not only are we going backwards on an escalator at some pace, everyone is moving forward at some pace, and they're just overtaking us at will. It's just embarrassing at the moment. And if no one sits down with the Kroenkes and says, this is what needs to happen before this football club becomes a concrete mid-table team, do you want that? Do you want that for revenue? Do you want that for the legacy? Do you want that basically for your pocket? You're going to have to do X, Y, Z. And I don't think no one is having that conversation with them, because if they were, this would not be happening, because I'm seeing former players, I'm seeing who are now pundits, I'm seeing people don't really want to upset the cart because they may be on the payroll, or they may be looking to eventually be on the payroll. I'm not too sure. So they don't want to upset people. They need people who are not attached, but only by supporting the club, and they need proper people. Edu does not understand what we need to be doing at Arsenal. And he's the man above Arteta in theory. So it's strange. FFTV, what is it like to play pro? Did your coaches focus more on defense or attacking? Well, I was an attacker, so a lot of my stuff was based on attacking through training. But basically, to be a pro when I was playing, I finished full-time 10 years ago. I played a Vets game today, and the number one foundation was always outwork your opposition. And if you see League One and even half of the Championship, it will always be about hard work. And that now has kind of gone out the game for me, for a lot of players, and that's why they don't sustain their ability at the top for a very long time. But playing as a pro, it's a dream, no matter what level you play at. As soon as you start playing professional, it's every day. You train every day. You sign autographs. You're on TV. All those things was a dream. Where my mistake came was I said I wanted to be a pro footballer. I became a pro footballer and remained just being a pro footballer. I never gave myself the next thing of, right, well, I'm now step one, which is to be a pro. That's only step one. there's 10 steps in this to fulfill my full potential. I never did that. So, but you will find things like comfort is the enemy, things like that on the other channel, which make sure you don't forget. I think I've pinned it in the comment. Maybe I've not even pinned it in the comments, but it's probably at the top of the chat. So go and check that other channel out. So in your small channel, we just started it for the community. For the community, I can tell you that. I've watched enough of watching. Yeah, I'm watching proper football. Chris has put, I don't believe that the Kroenkes will continue to back their manager and the staff. The biggest clubs increasingly require a bottomless pit of money. Eventually, they will take their money away. They will if we keep losing, that's for sure. It was absolutely criminal that we offered Xhaka a new deal because he's simply an accident waiting to happen. This guy's nowhere near good enough. Big up Josh, I hope you're well. Big up Pablo. My worry is that they will leave it. I just don't know. We've not heard anything. Social Diaz, but it's inevitable Arteta will go. He hasn't got the fans on his side. He doesn't learn from mistakes. The personalities of the team are stamped and are pushed out of the club. And that comment for me could not be any truer and actually straight direct to the point. He's not good enough. He's just not good enough. He will have to go because the fact is he's not good enough. And the Kroenkes are not going to keep him around forever. At the end of the day, if he continues to be poor, they're not going to keep him around forever. There will become a point where they say, we like him, but the club is getting ruined. We are not getting results. We have put this amount of money in and we're not getting results. So if they are businessmen, they will always look down to the penny. We've put this amount of money in. These are results that we said we needed to get. We are not getting it. So Norwich, we know is a huge, huge game for him. And Burnley as well. So if he doesn't win Norwich and Burnley, he could be gone. He really, really could be gone. I've got to be honest. He could be gone. So I'm going to go for a few things that he said. You've probably already heard what he said. But he obviously, Aubameyang came out yesterday. He looked very uncomfortable. He was doing this, you know, a sign of nervousness, didn't know what to say. He kept doing this. And he was under pressure to say the thing because the interviewer, the journalist, was actually pressing him to see if he could get anything out of him in relation to what Arteta is asking them to do, etc., and things like that. So I'm not sure whether he chose to come out, whether he put his hand up, or whether they asked for him, the journalist. I'm not too sure, but he didn't look comfortable at all doing that interview. So Arteta on that. So Arteta basically is a couple of things that people were saying, asking him. Arteta on Aubameyang saying the Arsenal players need to play with more pride. So basically, if you've not seen it, you probably have. Aubameyang was saying we need to play with more pride. When the journalist interview guy or woman, well, I think it was a guy, was asking him, you know, is it just work rate? Is it foundation tactics? Is it blah, blah, blah? Trying to dig a little something to see if he would turn around and expose Arteta. He just basically said that we have to work hard, which is the most obvious thing I've ever heard in football. It's the foundations of everything that you do as anything. Whether you're, you know, if you're working at McDonald's and you want to do the best, you'll produce the best fries. You'll put the perfect amount of salt on, and you might want to be the best guy at fries. You might want to be the best filet fish guy. You might want to be the best whatever you do, you know, best seller at Primark, or the best invention or creative person, creative director at, you know, I don't know, Adidas or Nike. But you want to be the best, and that means work. That means hard work. Like, whether it's a YouTube channel, whether it's whatever it is, it means on a daily basis, you either got to do something about it or not do it, and you won't get there. Curved Glass is saying the sound is a bit low. Let's have a look. Is that any better? Let me know if that's a bit better for you. Is that any better? Let me know if that's any better, Curved Glass. Curved Glass has also put, Norwich is Arteta's European Cup final. How far has his club fallen? And I think we're falling quick. And I think it's going to be a lot worse. A lot worse. Better. Okay, I'll just put the volume on the mic up. Thanks for letting me know, Curved Glass. Appreciate all the little information. Fran, is it true Palace have pulled out of buying Nketiah? Would not surprise me. I mean, if they want more than 10 million, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Can't hear any difference, Chris. Maybe it's just certain people's connections. So happy we got international break. Amount of bad vibes from Arsenal making me triggered. So disappointed there's no official statement from the club about the manager. 4 games, people. It's ridiculous. I do it on purpose. Mikel Arteta said he does it on purpose. He would not surprise me. He would not surprise me. Max Bruce has come in. He said, big up, Fran. My thoughts are our current situation that we need a manager more than we need new players, 100%. Reason being, a manager with a good system will get best out of the current squad, 100%. And Sunday's put, I question Kroenke as a businessman. Does he not worry about losing money with the people he has appointed? He sure will be. I'm telling you, he sure will be. So, like I said, he then continues, by the way. Arteta on the process. I don't think today is the day to talk about any process. Did he not say that after the Brentford game? It's not the day to be talking about the process. When is the day, Mikel Arteta? Because I can tell you what now, if I was telling my wife or my friends or my community that I was going to do something and I never did it, and every time they asked me, I said, don't judge me on today about the process. What do you think they would say? They would turn around and say, well, this is the process, and you're telling us that you are doing a process. So, of course, we're going to question you. What is happening with the process? What does it not? Is it on pause when it don't go right? Is it on pause when you lose? Is the process on pause now? What do you mean? What do you mean? When you lose, we can't ask you. What? So when you win, we can ask you about the process. Like Dangerous D says, absolutely waffle. Simon Young has put, where's my PS5? It's just down here, mate, next to my left foot. Down here. It's nice and safe. He then goes on to say, he was very blunt as well. He was very, very blunt. Arteta on his message to the fans. To the fans, I can only say thank you so much, obviously. That's why you saw the reaction of the players and myself after the game. We have to value what we've done today. I don't know if I'm reading that wrong or what, and I don't know what. We have to value what they've done today. So he's saying, because the fans came, etc., he goes over and you should go over and clap the fans after every single game, regardless. Regardless. Even if you don't want to, they've come out of their way to watch you and your team try and win or play football. They have supported you. So you should be doing that anyway. What you should be saying is, on the message to the fans, we are disappointed that we have performed the way that we have performed today. And if I could, I would reimburse each and every fan that has traveled to Manchester to watch that disgusting performance. Because that's what I would be saying if someone asked me. Because that's the facts and that's the reality. Not, I can only say thank you. That's why you saw the reaction from the players and myself after the game. It's absolute nonsense. Nonsense. Arteta on how things can improve after the break. So how can things improve after the break? We have some players here. Hopefully we can get some players back. Fair enough. It's time to reflect and look in the mirror at each of us. We need to change the dynamic straight away. Yes, you are true. But there is one person who needs to look in the mirror more than anyone else. And that is you, Mikel Arteta. You need to look and stop protecting your beliefs, your philosophy, the way that you want this club to play, and accept that those things are not working. Go back to the drawing board, get out of your own head, and try and get a team that looks like they're even going to score a goal, never mind win a game. That's what you need to do. Chris has put, are you sure you haven't taken the PS5 out and played with it? It will be second-hand winner. Check the packaging. No, I wouldn't even know how to turn it on. Those fans wasted their money. And you know what? Fair play to them. Fair play to them for going. But I've always said, if you don't want the owners in to put money in their pockets, I don't get that. You know, I don't get that. Fran, every Arsenal player should have given the fans their football top. Listen, there's ways. They're disgusted. It's disgusting how bad they are playing at the minute. But what you've got to remember is when you're a player, let me go back to when I was a player. If you're a player and you have a bad performance and you kind of know it's the manager, you kind of want the next performance to be bad because you want him to be sacked in a way. These players are not really bothered whether he stays or not. And him and Edu brought in Willian and got rid of Matteo Guendouzi, Saliba. I mean, that will go around and round and round and round and round. But thankfully, this is another thing as well. We must respect and give Willian, if it is true, massive, massive, massive respect. If he has decided to walk away from his contract, take a 70% pay cut and allowed Arsenal to keep 20 million basically of his money, because that was his money. So if that is true, as much as people have hammered Willian and he's not been great, it's not worked out for him, I've not known many players, and if you have people, let me know, that are willing to do that. Willing to do that. I have not met many players who are willing to do that. Dangerously, Fran must sleep with that PS5, you know. It's just there. It's there. Hey, listen, I have no interest in PS5 and things like that because I never really played them. Only when I was very, very young. And my son's at that age where you don't really get involved. My wife telling me he's got to be at least 10 years old. So I've got to wait a long time before I can get involved with PS5s. Probably be a PS6 by then. Pablo's put, every time I look at the league table, I feel like throwing up. In my 56 years being alive, I've never seen Arsenal that's bad. Well, I think what's happened has only happened twice in 100 years. Man United are 1-0 up. Greenwood, yeah, what a great young talent he is. Great young talent. They're very lucky that our Wolves don't have any finishing product because they would batter them first off. Fran, you could easily be a motivational speaker. Great subject for your new channel. Yeah, I mean, listen, the new channel, it is just called Green Mind. I'm a green, obviously. Mind, it's spelled with a Y because obviously Green Mind, there's loads of green minds, but I spelled with a Y. And it's just going to be literally weird days when I think about it. I might do a video tomorrow and or tonight and then maybe edit it tomorrow, just talking about what I do to help me with distractions of the world, you know, because a lot of people out there getting distracted every 2 minutes by social media or TV or whatever. So what the things that I do to stop me from being distracted from when I'm trying to do something, because we all get distracted, we'll speak about that, you know, things like that, self-love, self-confidence, how to pursue what you really, really want to do, how to deal with toxic people in your life, all those things. I just think they're good to have a chat on a personal level, and I think it will help people. So I really do appreciate all the support, by the way, for the people that have already subscribed. I mean, it's been magnificent. I'm just going to put the link in here again for you all, which is really, really good. I think it's magnificent that you want to know, obviously, other side about me. So there's that link. There's the link. Go over, just subscribe, give it a little like, watch the chilled out video. It was super chilled. My missus listened to it. She was like, it sounds like a kind of like a chilled out love channel at the beginning. I said, it's not a love channel, baby. It's just love for you. Great comment, Craig. Great comment. I think, let me go check. I don't know if I've checked Craig's comment. Which one was Craig's comment? Someone's put great comment. Fran, every Arsenal player should. Yeah. I think I've read that one out. Thanks to Josh for coming in. Toby's put big up to yourself. Like you say, Man United. Dangerous D has put again, more pain to come, Pablo. I think that's the problem. There's the link for you. So hit the link for the other one, the chilled out one, which might help you on your way. What's good, friend? Just joined. Really, really do appreciate it. I hope you've had a great weekend and you didn't get, obviously, bothered by what's gone on. I know sometimes it's very hard to detach yourself from that, but you know, there's more things that more important things that you need to take care of, you know. Asanas put, OG friend, I'm interested to know how your past life as a footballer, little things like that will help. My wife told me I can't go into too much detail over certain things. But you know, because you know the will has always got the third eye on you, as you know. Chris Garvey, Fran the hippie. Hey, listen, I wouldn't say I'm a hippie, but I do like loads of different things, and it can be frustrating at times when your mind's constantly trying to be creative, etc. But you know, it can be a little bit annoying at times. So Yeah, so let's go back onto what I was saying. So he said that on obviously about that international break. We have some players, we know that he obviously needs to make a done out. Now, this was a little bit, they knew this was going to happen. Pep, he was saying, we know a job, especially in the big clubs, when you don't win these rumors. I'm not talking as a friend, I'm talking as a professional. Working alongside him, I learned a lot. He taught me many things. The team we are now is because of what he's done. We can't forget he's playing without many players injured. I don't have any doubts. He can be get good results, bad results. My opinion about Mikel is beyond what people can imagine. I'm pretty sure he'll be back on track. Does he honestly believe that? Does he honestly believe and say that Man City will not be the team the way it is without Arteta's input? Surely he is not telling the truth there, people. Surely. I mean, I like Pep, but if he's blatantly lying like that to our face, then we're going to have words. Edu Plus has put here from Jamaica. Whoa, watch the mic. Big up from Jamaica. You know how it go. Love hearing your insight on Big C's channel. Pep Ball Boy out. Yeah, listen. Pep Coleman, Pep Ball Boy. Sounds like Pep's side chick. After that, what Pep said, I can tell you that. Madness. Sheets of Metal, Fran, you're doing good. We just like the banter here and there. Hey, listen, you need the banter every so often. The banter. 1 minute, listen, 1 minute, you know, I am with the banter, and then obviously I'm serious, which most people are, but you only see one side of people. And I think it's important that you see, some people have got, I've probably got 4 or 5 sides, honestly. It's crazy, but you know, you only get to see one side in the world with most people because they don't want to put the other side out. And I think that's important, why you should stress to people that do that. Be that. Otherwise, you will go through life of always regret and always thinking about certain things. But less of that. We're talking about football now. Tony C. Pep is just sticking by his man near. And I get it. I would do the same. But I definitely wouldn't say things like he's the one why City is the way it is. Zach, Pep's looking at, out for his boy and hoping to get him guaranteed 6 points a season. I can see why he's looking out. Of course not. Pep sent Mikel, brought Arsenal up for good. Paul Wright, he's out of his depth, 100%. It's up to the board to do the right thing. Otherwise, the more of the same. Big up, bro. Good, doing good things. And I fully agree. Thank you for the kind words, Paul. But if we don't do something, if this club do not sack this manager, right, they're only going one way. Because my biggest fear is people saying, yeah, well, you need to get people back, Fran. You need to get people back, yeah? And I get that. But the damage of losing these games and the damage of confidence and momentum, of lack of flow and belief in each and one of these players in what Arteta wants them to do is getting damaged day after day, weekend after weekend. And it comes to the point where there's too much damage is being done. People don't believe in the process. Players don't believe in what Arteta is asking them to do. So if it's bad enough when you don't believe in yourself. If you don't believe in another person, you're never gonna do that. Because we don't even sometimes believe in ourselves. So why are you gonna then do a process and believe in someone else who's probably asking you to do something that you don't want to do? And that's the problem for me. That's the infectious negativity that is going to go around that dressing room and around the club and outside the club. Arteta always says what we're trying to do in here, and everyone's trying to destroy it like he's at war. And he's not helping himself by saying that. He's not helping himself. You can say that to yourself. You can say that to yourself if you're an individual and you are saying, because I speak about that quite a lot away from here, that you have to protect your energy. You have to protect yourself. You have to protect your dream. I get that, but that's your dream. He's going on like everyone in that squad is agreeing with what he's doing. They're not. They're not agreeing with what he's asking them to do. Ashim has put, Fran, has anyone said to you that you look like Pires? I've never heard that one before. I can tell you that. I've had all the other ones, but not Pires. Pep has been constantly trolling us since he let his favorite side place. Listen, his favorite side piece join us. He let his favorite side piece join us and didn't feel no way about it. Chris has put, get a defensive-minded manager in and bring back Saliba, 100%. You know what? I would take a defensive, negative manager to get us back to get some points on the board and get us back where people think, oh, Arsenal are coming to town. We may have a tough game today. And you know what? I really, really want us to play football. I wanted Arteta to do well. And I still want Arteta to do well because I want the team to do well. And I think he'd be a good coach somewhere else. But he's treating this as an experiment for him to get where he needs to get to. He really wants to do well at Arsenal. Of course he does. He really wants to make sure that his way of playing and the way that he wants to coach does well at Arsenal. But I don't think Arsenal is the club for him to be doing this. You know, go get a championship club job. Even that level, you're probably not going to be able to do an apprenticeship. But do what Frank Lampard did. Do what Rooney are doing now. Rooney's terrible. Rooney's not going to be a great coach. Let's be honest, right? But he's got ahead of a lot of people just because he's Wayne Rooney. But go championship. Go and learn how to manage people. Being an assistant manager is not the same as being a manager. Completely different skills that are needed. You know? Will you take Big Sam? No, I mean, I want to change, but I'm not into that. Paul Wright, who do you think runs the club? I don't think it's the Kroenke. So if we get rid of Arteta, who's going to be responsible for recruiting the next manager? I have no faith he will get it right. And it's true. You never know who is actually making the huge decisions. You never know because Kroenkes are definitely getting input from someone who is not deliberately, but sabotaging the process of this club. They think that they're onto some good thing at the moment where they're trying to get players and they're trying to develop players and they're trying to be a selling club like a Dortmund, like an Ajax, like Leicester. And someone has sold that dream to them that they can do that, not realizing that this is Arsenal Football Club. Our history is not that. You have to have a complete different fan base, mindset, expectation for the club to be moving in the way that it seems like they want to move. And if they continue to move like that, then you're never going to get the right manager who we want because it's at the moment. Because unless they say to him, here's a 5-year deal and you will not get sacked in 5 years regardless. That's the only way it's going to happen. That he's going to have time to build the philosophy of what he wants to do. Because every time you change your manager, it's just going to change. You know, it's just going to change all the time. So that's what Dortmund don't buy youth players for 50 million, though. No, that's what I mean. Yeah, what I'm saying is the model of trying to buy players for cheap, progress them and sell them. Yes, I know that we've had to buy a Ben White and we know we've had to buy 20, 30 million, blah, blah, blah. But the concept, it seems like the reason that they've had to do that is because they still want to remain in touch with the top six. So they brought 1 or 2 players and then they want to go down the model of everyone else because they can't afford to just go out and get all youth teams and or youth players and hope that they produce. I mean, our youth don't get into any other top 6 team. They're more than likely would be on the bench. They would be on the bench. Whereas we're raving about them because our standards are so low as a fan, as a club now. We're raving about players that would be on the bench for other people, you know? Probably touch and go with 1 or 2, but most of them would either not be in the squad or on the bench. Are we going to become Newcastle under these owners? You never know. Look what happened to Newcastle. Gunners put, if I had a boss like Mikel at my job, I'd be running a F mile. Why would I respect someone less competent than me? That's the problem. Arteta is, I think, younger than me, and he's trying to run around like he's the top dog, asking these players to do things, throwing in with all these demands. And these players are looking at him and thinking, is this guy for real? Like, he wants us to play like Barcelona, or he wants us to play like Man City. We ain't good enough to do that. They don't even have belief in themselves to do it. And you can try and convince them that they're good enough to do that, and you're getting spanked every week. How are you going to convince someone? How are you going to convince someone when you're getting beat every week and it's not working? I mean, when Xhaka got sent off, he left those players out to dry. He asked ESR and Odegaard to be playing as normal deep midfielders. Didn't change anything until half time. Why didn't you make a substitution straight away and try and stop the flow? Arteta's ego is bringing him down, refuses to adjust and adapt. 100%. This is one of the biggest clubs in the world. This ain't his kid's birthday party, and he can control every aspect. And that's exactly how he is moving. Sports Genius has put, Fran, my gender reveal was yesterday, and I'm having a boy. I don't know if I want to put him Arsenal now. Well, first of all, congrats, everyone. Make sure you give Sports Genius a huge congratulations for achieving one of their life's special achievements. I've not got my son an English kit yet. I've got him the England kit. He's got PSG and he's got Real Madrid. And he keeps asking for Chelsea because he likes the number 3. And I've not got him an English kit yet. Through the fact of, I don't want to buy any Arsenal merchandise. You know, so you got a tough choice there. You got a tough choice. Pablo's put there already on the next step of the process, and that's planning how to win the championship. Exactly. Congrats. Yeah, big love. Everyone's saying congrats. You can't expect anything less than Granit. Always trust people by themselves. Listen, he's a waste of space. He's a waste of space, that kid. Football-wise, wrong for me to say human-wise, he may be a great human being, great father, great husband, whatever it may be. But football-wise, he is a waste of space, Granit Xhaka. How on earth has he managed to get a new and improved contract from a club like Arsenal Football Club? How? Me being a former agent, I would have been laughing when we walked out of that office. Absolutely laughing. Like, wait a minute. We've just tried to get you out for a month. We've had argument after argument on the phone trying to get you out because it kind of is arguments, right? Roma don't want you basically no more, right? So I'll tell you what, we're going to ask them for a new deal if they want us to stay. And they give you a new deal. The agent must have been thinking, he must have phoned him and gone, hey, Granit, guess what? You'll never guess what? They've only gone and offered us a new deal on more money than what we've already got. Can you believe these clowns? And they're having a laugh on the phone. I'm telling you, I've been in the industry. You cannot believe it. They cannot believe it. You are in control as a club. When I was playing, when your contract was up, you went in and they told you, this is how you're going to get a new deal or you're not going to get a new deal. That was it. And then 2 months later, if you didn't get a new deal, you had to find another football club. Just like that. And maybe you don't know this stat, but every year there's about 1,000 footballers professionally. So the Premier League, Championship, League One and League Two, there is 1,000 footballers who do not have a club. They don't have a club, which means they don't have a job. So 2 months after they get released, that's it. No money, no bills, no income coming in to pay bills. 1,000. And then I think there's something like 400 of them will get a job. May not be in the league or might be non-league, but 400 of them will sign for clubs to get paid again. The other 600 never sign for a club. On average, the other 600 never sign for a club, and the football career is over, and they have to go and start again. That's life. But the modern day football gets a contract for not being good. I cannot get my head around in society how you get rewarded for losing. You get rewarded for not producing results. I'm absolutely flabbergasted and amazed how that works. I just don't get my head around it. I don't. Tony says, congrats, Sports Genius. Hopefully by the time you can watch Arsenal, they'll be back to where they are. Morris Peck, thanks for popping in, has put, yes, Fran, big up yourself. Bringing your degree and life experience to your channel for the betterment of your listeners is a righteous move. Nothing like giving the help Arsenal own Kevin Samuels. Listen, big respect for that. And I think the righteous side of it will help people. Sometimes people get in from work. Sometimes people have relationship problems. And I ain't going to be no Deirdre or one of those. I'm just going to just do my little things. And sometimes they will help people and sometimes they won't. But listen, why read these books and go through all these experiences of life, up and down, nearly all my own, accountable for all my own mistakes. Why go through all that and keep it to yourself? Some people do because they're ashamed. Some people do because they don't want the world to know who they really are. Well, what's the point in that? What we're here for? We're only here for a short time. So we might as well build a community, and we might as well help each other out in the community. That's what we might as well do. Because what's the point of people going through these experiences and not telling other people? You don't have to go too in depth. You don't have to go, all in. But you can use certain experiences to help others. And you don't know. If on my other channel, if I help one person, then I've done my job. If I help one person on this channel in relation to football or anything, then I've done my job. And that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Brandon's put, how do you become an agent? Well, it used to be a massive, massive exam. And then it changed, which kind of ruined the game of agency. And all you have to do now, if you want to be a football agent, is pay £500. I don't know if it's changed. And you register as an agent. You have to do like a fit of a proper person's kind of profile thing. You pass that, and then you're an agent. Done. Very, very easy. A manager needs to have a few brain cells and be able to think outside the box. Wendy could do that, but then let delusion get the better of him. Yep, sometimes they can get too involved in themselves. Congrats, obviously, Chris is saying. Same applies to Holding. Poor decisions being made. Very poor. Man United broke Arsenal unbeaten record. Have they won? Oh, I'm surprised they won that, because it looked like they were going to get beat first off. Big up, Fran. Spread that knowledge. Matthew's put, good afternoon, Fran. Good afternoon to yourself, Matthew. Econ Waters put, yo, Fran, big up yourself, bro. Wow, 68 have just rapidly come in the chat. The game must have finished. The game must have finished, everyone. 68's come right in the chat. Love that, people, on a Sunday afternoon. Dear Deirdre, I like to melt stuff. How do I stop? Dear Deirdre. A lot of people won't know who Dear Deirdre is. Pablo's put, do you remember back when Forest got relegated? Everyone was saying they are too good to go down. Look at Forest now. I think they lost again yesterday. They won a game. They're the same as us at the minute. Out from watching Wolves and Man U now, clubs like Wolves still got energy to fight, still 90 minutes, insane energy. Shame on Arsenal. I see if you looked at Wolves, they'll be disappointed that they didn't win that game. They just can't finish their dinner because they were causing all kinds of problems for Man United. All kinds. Tom's put, big up, big at yourself. Tom, Zach, I know Wenger was finished, but would have been nice to see him given Arteta money to spend. Yeah. DS has put, Fran, I love a lot that insight that provided about the insight word of football. Thanks. More, please. Yeah, listen, any questions, let me know. Chris A has put, big up, Fran. Great stream as always. Who do you think realistic Arsenal could get now if they sack Arteta? Just don't know. I just don't know. People will always throw names out left, right, and center. 78 in the chat. People are coming over. I love it, people, that you're here. Absolutely love it. Levan's put, evening, Fran. As a Guna, I'm worried. It looks like we are going down. Listen, we are going backwards very, very, very quickly. So Man United have broken our away record. I've just got to take a moment at the minute because listen to this, yeah. Listen. Because you have to take everything in. Our record's just been broken. We've just created new records for the wrong side over the weekend. I think for us, losing the 3 games or not scoring in the first 3 games has only happened twice in 100 years. So that. And then to top that off, Spurs are top of the league, I believe, or were. And have won all 3 games. It tells you how far behind we are. Look what is happening. Look what is happening. Wow. Fran, out of all 5 leagues, Arsenal have failed to score. It's just ridiculous. Fran on that Eddie Howe tip. I mean, what? I think Eddie Howe would only be one of those options who you would get because they would only pay him cheap money. But realistically, if there is a problem and it's core and it's infectious in that dressing room, it may not matter which manager comes in for that pay grade. because they might not respect anyone who you're going to get in for that pay grade. These players obviously quite clearly must think that they're bigger than the manager. So you need a manager who's going to come in and start rattling a few people. Getting a few people's faces. A Conte would be perfect, but there's no way I can see a Conte coming to this sinking ship. No way. I would have taken Nuno 100%. Chris has put Darren Ferguson, Sheesamel, FFTV. Who would you rate? Alexis Sanchez in his prime or Ozil? Two different players, but Sanchez is probably more of a threat. So I would have gone for Sanchez. Danny's put, we smashed you. I imagine that's you yesterday. I imagine he's a Man City fan. Yeah, you sure did. You sure did. It's not that bad because I actually like Pep and I actually like Man City, but you sure did. I can tell you that, Daniel. You sure did, mate. Friend, did you know out of all the leagues? Oh, I've seen that one. Zach's come in and said a Conte, Simeone, somebody who put actual fear into them. That's the only way they get out of this, you know. Sis put, your channel will grow. I can see it just continue and make it big. Hey, listen, we just create content, and if people like it, they come. And if they don't come. It's fine by me and fine by the community. Daniel put, but Man City were crap against Spurs and Wolves battered Spurs. Didn't see the Watford game, but Spurs aren't the best team in the league. Listen, if Spurs are top of the league at the minute, it means that they are the best team in the league at the moment. Facts. At the moment, if they are top of the league, they are the best team in the league. They're not going to win it, but they're probably going to finish above us if it carries on the way that it does, which again is shocking again. How we've gone backwards. It used to be never nowhere near us over the last 3 or 4 seasons. People are starting to accept that Spurs might finish above us all the time. Don't even bat an eyelid when I banter Franny. Just nod in agreement. Hey, listen, you know me. I've had that much banter and I've been involved in that much banter. A lot of it is just like waters off a duck's back. Sometimes I don't even know it's banter and I don't even acknowledge it. I keep hearing who can see if Arteta gets sacked. An experienced manager with a clear plan would do a better job. Who would go? By the way, it's 92 in the chat on a Sunday. Wow. Big respect to each and every one of you. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you're not already. And remember, the PS5 is going to be gone in a couple of days. So keep an eye out for the video that I'm going to tell you which video to comment on and then the day. It might be best to do it transfer deadline day or something like that. Might be a good present for someone, you know, which is Tuesday. By the way, transfer deadline day, I'm probably going to come on about 7 o'clock and I might do from like 7 or 8 till 11 because normally it'll speed up later on. So maybe 8 till 11 or 7 till 11 might be a good stream on Tuesday. So that'll be good. Let me know if you obviously want to tune in for that. True Gunners, laugh out loud. We beat Man City in 2-3-5-0, I'm sure, and City won a title before they got blessed. Madness. Levanna's put, we need 2 big signings before Tuesday. We could have a couple of panic signings now, but it's not the sign, it's the manager. It's the manager. They're on the most informed. Consistently, yes. Mike Dean did it again for United. How Beast, what's up, How Beast? Not seen you for a few days. Hope you're well. Helping each other in the community will put all us further and build a strong network. And that's the key, people. Communities, look, there's a saying, and I may have tweaked it a little bit, but it's basically you have to build yourself to build a community. And the only way you build yourself is by a community. So it's a consistent loop. Build yourself, build a community. Community continues to build you. And that's what I want to create here. I see a lot of communities. There's no substance in communities. There's no information. There's no heart. There's no soul into the community. It's just, you know, a YouTube channel or a podcast or whatever, and people don't interact. And there's, you know, you need to create community, create friends, create people, you know, because people need guidance. People need that. We all do. Fran, my nephew just told me Arsenal might play in Championship next season. I can't even tell these United guys. Come on. Hey, listen, you never know. Fran, we all have to listen. If anyone unsubscribes when I don't get this if you don't win this PS5, listen, there's something wrong with you. I can tell you that. Yes, Fran, how much of the big transfer fees do the players get? Players don't get none of the transfer fee. So a player doesn't get anything of the transfer fee unless it's personally contracted in, but it would tend to be wages. So what they'll do is, for example, if someone was 80 million and the player said, well, no, I want 5 million of that plus 200 grand a week, they will add that 5 million on top of the 200 grand a week, break it down over a 5-year period and see how it is. But very rare that happens. What happens is a player will get a signing on fee. So the actual fee would go to the club. Say whatever. Say Ben White's 50 million. He goes to the club. He will then want a signing on fee probably. So he wants a fee to sign. And then the agent gets 5% of the whole contract of the player. So if the player's contract is $1 million, he gets 50 grand or whatever. But it's obviously going to be a lot, so hundreds of million. But just to let you know, that's how it works. 90 in the chat, unbelievable. Chris Ayers put, it's going to be most likely Basuma or a war, I think, on deadline day to try and shut the fans up. Won't work if we lose to Norwich, though. Interesting if we got a war or Basuma and we continue to lose. It would just be crazy. Steve J's put, Fran, why is there a cartoon pic of Benny from Crossroads on the PS5 page? Oh, funny. This stream is more neighborhood watch in case Arteta does more criminal damage. You know what I mean? Joe, will the ticket prices go up in the championship? I'm not sure. It's up to the club. The club do whatever they want. You know, the club do whatever they want. I did miss a comment about Peterborough obviously losing again, very unlucky, but it's a tough league. The championship's a tough league. You know, Arsenal not going to go down to the championship. I can't see that. And if they did, they would just come straight back up because of the parachute payments. But Arsenal, I've said 10th. And they've got to be lucky. I mean, they're going to get players back, okay? Arteta's not going to last the reign. He can't do. Unless something drastically happens. Drastically happens. Because things don't happen overnight. We're rock bottom at the moment. Literally rock bottom at the moment, okay? So it's not going to happen over 2 weeks that Arsenal are just going to fly back and Arteta's going to be back. He's created a losing mentality, a weak mentality, an acceptance of mediocre mentality within the dressing room. It's not just going to happen overnight. You know, how do we just go from, we don't just go from one day, oh, we're rock bottom, and then literally the next day, we're top of the ladder and we've got everything's going right for us. Finances are sorted. Everything's going right. Don't work like that. It takes years of developing. And it's going to be the same here, you know? Wow, I've only just noticed that we've gone 1 hour and 10. I could be talking forever, people. Absolutely could be talking forever. The wife has brought, what's this? Oh, my God. French toast, biscuit, and chocolate sauce. Wow. And it's healthy as well, people. It's healthy. Right, people. Now that has come in, a biscuit, French toast. I'm going to have to love you and leave you all. I really am. It's been a great stream. I'm glad that we didn't do one yesterday where we was all a little bit angry and emotionally kind of crazy when what's happened. You know what I mean? Absolutely crazy from what's happened. But I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone is looking forward to a big week. Remember to compound each week, Monday onto Tuesday, to Wednesday onto Thursday, onto Friday. And then also make sure you know, champions are made on Fridays, as you know what we say in this community. But listen, we've got 5 days to get to that. So let's just do what we can every single day to progress forward. So latest to everyone, really do appreciate it. We nearly touched 100 in the chat. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you go and check out the other small channel that we'll be doing if you're into that kind of stuff. But God bless each and every one of you. You take care, and I will see you all well tomorrow, of course. See you later.